SER cable can be used in an underground installation in Conduit. According to Section 2310.8c2, insulated XHHW-2 conductors are suitable for wet locations. The code does not directly address the non-insulated ground conductor in this particular section. However, Table 310.15b16 permits the use of bare or covered copper conductors for equipment grounding or bonding purposes. This table is critical in understanding the acceptability of using a bare copper conductor within the underground conduit system. It specifically addresses the ampacities of conductors, but also establishes the allowance for bare copper when used for grounding or bonding. Therefore, considering both the allowance for XHHW-2 in wet locations and the permission for bare copper grounding conductors, the installation is permitted. When installing SER cable underground in Conduit, several factors must be considered to ensure a safe and compliant installation. Firstly, the conduit itself needs to be suitable for underground use. This typically means using a rigid PVC conduit or a galvanized rigid metal conduit that is rated for direct burial. The conduit protects the cable from physical damage and environmental factors present underground. Secondly, the conduit should be properly sealed at all joints and terminations to prevent water and debris from entering the system. Water ingress can lead to corrosion and electrical faults, compromising the integrity of the installation. The use of appropriate conduit fittings and sealing compounds is crucial in maintaining a watertight seal. Thirdly, the depth of the burial must comply with local electrical codes. The specific depth requirements vary depending on the voltage of the circuit and the location of the installation. Typically, a minimum burial depth is specified to protect the conduit from damage caused by digging or other underground activities. Fourthly, it's important to ensure that the conduit is properly supported and secured along its length. This prevents the conduit from sagging or shifting over time, which can put stress on the cable and connections. Support should be spaced according to the manufacturer's recommendations and local code requirements. Fifthly, the XHHW-2 conductors within the SER cable must be properly terminated at both ends of the conduit run. This involves using appropriate connectors and terminals that are rated for the size and type of conductor being used. The connections must be tight and secure to prevent overheating and voltage drop. Sixthly, the bare copper ground conductor must be properly connected to the grounding system at both ends of the conduit run. This ensures that any fault current will be safely conducted back to the source, tripping the circuit breaker and preventing electrical shock hazards. The grounding connections must be made in accordance with the National Electrical Code and local code requirement. Seventhly, it's important to consider the potential for corrosion when installing electrical systems underground. The soil can be corrosive, especially in areas with high moisture content or chemical contamination. The use of corrosion-resistant materials, such as PVC conduit and coated copper conductors, can help to minimize the risk of corrosion. Eighthly, before backfilling the trench, it's important to carefully inspect the entire installation to ensure that all components are properly installed and connected. This includes checking the conduit for damage, verifying the tightness of all connections, and testing the grounding system for continuity. Ninthly, backfilling should be done carefully to avoid damaging the conduit or cable. The use of clean, non-abrasive fill material is recommended to protect the system from physical damage. The fill material should be compacted in layers to provide adequate support and prevent settling. Tenthly, after the installation is complete, it's important to label the conduit and junction boxes to identify the circuit and voltage. This helps to prevent confusion and ensures that future maintenance and repairs can be performed safely and efficiently. The use of permanent, weather-resistant labels is recommended. In addition to these installation considerations, it's also important to be aware of the relevant electrical codes and standards that govern the installation of underground electrical systems. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, provides detailed requirements for the design, installation, and inspection of electrical systems. Local electrical codes may also apply, and it's important to comply with all applicable codes and standards to ensure a safe and compliant installation. When working with electrical systems, it's always important to follow safe work practices. This includes wearing appropriate personal protective equipment such as gloves and safety glasses, and energizing the circuit before working on any electrical components. If you are not qualified to perform electrical work, it's best to hire a licensed electrician to ensure that the installation is done safely and correctly. The XHHW-2 insulation itself is a cross-linked polyethylene insulation, and this provides superior resistance to moisture, heat, and abrasion. The 2 in XHHW-2 indicates that it is rated for 90 degrees Celsius in wet and dry locations. This makes it suitable for direct burial applications where the cable may be exposed to moisture or high temperatures. The XHHW-2 insulation also has excellent electrical properties, which helps to minimize voltage drop and power loss in the circuit. The bare copper ground conductor plays a crucial role in the safety of the electrical system. It provides a low impedance path for fault current to flow back to the source, which helps to quickly trip the circuit breaker and prevent electrical shock hazards. The size of the ground conductor is determined by the size of the circuit conductors, as specified in the National Electrical Code. It's important to use the correct size ground conductor to ensure that it can safely carry the maximum fault current that may occur. The conduit serves several important purposes in an underground electrical installation. It protects the cable from physical damage, such as from rocks, roots, and digging equipment. It also provides a barrier against moisture and chemicals in the soil, which can corrode the cable and cause electrical faults. The conduit also helps to contain any arc flash that may occur in the event of a fault, protecting people and property from harm. There are several different types of conduit that can be used for underground electrical installations. Rigid PVC conduit is a popular choice because it is lightweight, easy to install, and resistant to corrosion. Galvanized rigid metal conduit is another option, which provides excellent protection against physical damage and corrosion. Electrical metallic tubing is generally not approved for underground use in this particular situation. The NEC addresses the requirements for underground installations in Article 300. This article provides detailed information on the types of wiring methods that are permitted for underground use, the required burial depths, and the grounding requirements. It's important to consult Article 300 of the NEC to ensure that your underground installation complies with all applicable requirements. The use of SCR cable underground offers several advantages over other wiring methods. Firstly, it is relatively easy to install, as the conductors are already bundled together in a cable assembly. Secondly, it is cost-effective, as it eliminates the need to purchase and install individual conductors and the separate grounding conductor. Thirdly, it provides good protection against physical damage and environmental factors. However, there are also some limitations to the use of SCR cable underground. Firstly, it is not suitable for use in direct sunlight, as the insulation can degrade over time. Secondly, it is not permitted for use in hazardous locations, such as areas where flammable gases or vapors may be present. Thirdly, it may not be suitable for use in areas with extremely corrosive soil conditions. When installing SCR cable underground, it's important to follow the manufacturer's instructions and recommendations. The manufacturer's instructions will provide detailed information on the proper installation techniques, the recommended burial depths, and the grounding requirements. It's also important to use the correct tools and equipment for the job. This includes using a cable puller to pull the cable through the conduit, a conduit bender to bend the conduit, and a torque wrench to tighten the connections. The use of improper tools and equipment can damage the cable and compromise the integrity of the installation. Regular inspection and maintenance are essential to ensure the long-term reliability and safety of an underground electrical system. The system should be inspected periodically for signs of damage, corrosion, or water ingress. Any damaged component should be replaced promptly. The grounding system should also be tested periodically to ensure that it is providing adequate protection against electrical shock hazards. Underground electrical systems are subject to a variety of environmental factors that can affect their performance and lifespan. These factors include moisture, temperature, soil chemistry, and physical stress. Moisture can cause corrosion and electrical faults. Temperature extremes can cause the insulation to degrade and crack. Soil chemistry can corrode the metal components of the system. Physical stress can damage the cable and conduit. To mitigate the effects of these environmental factors, it's important to use high-quality materials, follow proper installation practices, and perform regular inspection and maintenance. When planning an underground electrical installation, it's important to consider the future needs of the property. Will there be any additional electrical loads in the future? Will there be any changes to the landscaping or underground utilities? It's best to oversize the conduit and conductors to accommodate future needs. This will save time and money in the long run. Before starting any underground excavation, it's important to contact the local utility companies to locate any existing underground utilities. This will help to prevent damage to the utilities and ensure the safety of the workers. The utility companies will mark the location of their underground lines with colored paint or flags. It's important to dig carefully around these marked lines to avoid damaging them. If you damage an underground utility line, you should immediately notify the utility company and the local authorities. Repairing a damaged utility line can be costly and time-consuming. It can also be dangerous, as it can expose workers and the public to electrical shock hazards. It is worth reiterating that XHHW-2 conductors, due to their moisture and heat resistance, are well suited for the damp environment typically encountered in underground conduit installations. The National Electrical Code serves as the cornerstone for electrical safety in the United States. Adherence to its guidelines is not merely recommended but mandated by law in most jurisdictions. This encompasses selecting appropriate materials, adhering to correct installation techniques, and ensuring thorough inspection protocols. In conclusion, the permissibility of using SER cable, specifically containing XHHW-2 conductors and a bare copper ground, in an underground conduit system hinges on adherence to the NEC guidelines, sound installation practices, and a comprehensive understanding of the environmental factors at play. While the insulated XHHW-2 conductors are inherently suited for wet environments, the bare copper ground is allowed for grounding purposes. Attention to detail, selection of appropriate materials, and adherence to code requirements are essential to guarantee a safe and code-compliant installation.